And our next guest, rock and roll legend, Ted Nugent. Great to have you back with us, Ted.
Thank you, Edie, Krisha. Happy celebration of 80 years of Dolly Parton. What a force to reckon with. What a positive, wonderful woman she was.
Absolutely. No complaints. Here's somebody, dirt floor, one-room cabin, 12 kids. No complaints. She just kept on going and with a positive attitude. And we love this. We wanted to share it because,
this is so great.
I mean, you're a musician. In the UK, the royal family just posted this on their Instagram account. The King's Guard performed 9 to 5 outside Buckingham Palace in memory of Dolly. So just listen to this for a sec. How amazing is that?
So
I mean,
cool.
Everybody worldwide. So, tell us, when you think back now on Dolly Parton's life legacy, what does it say to you?
Well, that was quite an appropriate and loving tribute to Dolly Parton over there in Great Britain. And Adam's reporting from Dollywood is ditto, ditto, ditto. But I have to say, Dolly Parton was not just a musical force to reckon with, but a workaholic, a great work ethic. But as a Christian, constitutional, conservative, conservationist, gun owner, and fellow squirrel hunter, that's Dolly Parton. I also want to say ditto, ditto to the great John James, because I'm in my beloved birth state of Michigan, and I support John James and Jay DeBoyer because we got to make Michigan, Michigan again. But on behalf of music lovers everywhere, I got to jam with Dolly Parton. Edie, Trisha, am I a lucky guitar player? And when we played this bluesy version, this kind of rhythm and blues on the Mike Douglas show, Dolly and I got along great. We talked about squirrel hunting. We talked about guns. We talked about our influences musically and the soulfulness. But she really was as down to earth and grounded, which are the greatest compliments in the world. I get them about my kids every day. But what a wonderful, wonderful musical authority she was. And like you mentioned, all around the world, it's not just Americans that love this country music that Dolly Parton ultimately delivered, but all around the world, her music and her spirit will live forever. I'm a lucky guy because I got to connect with the great Dolly Parton, which is referencing my effervescence, because when I hang out with great people like that, it's really contagious, and I thank her for her time.
Well, you're contagious in celebrating her, and that's really what she would have wanted too. And it's so great too because she didn't really get into politics. She was also known for her incredible philanthropy and her efforts saying to not send flowers, to please donate. For her efforts, her Imagination Library, it's reached millions of children and given away hundreds of millions of books. So your take on her influence, her generosity toward the future, toward children?
Well, there's quite a love affair in the musical community, no matter which genre you may prefer. I like hard rock, Little Richard, Chuck Berry, rhythm and blues, rock and roll, but so did Dolly Parton. And there's a lot of philanthropists really giving. The great Toby Keith, God rest his soul, and my buddy Sammy Hagar and Steven Tyler, we all have children's foundations and children's charities. And I wouldn't be surprised if we were influenced by the great Dolly Parton, because she worked really, really hard, as all the musicians that I know do. There's an incredible work ethic in the musical community that you see the productivity in the concerts. It takes an incredible amount of rehearsals and traveling. And the travel is such a pain in the ass, but she not only put up with it, she celebrated, and she brought that energy to the concert and to the songs. So we really genuflect at the altar of those great musical forces like Dolly Parton that will live forever in their music. And I know that just those brief encounters that I had with her on a number of occasions, it was very influential. She was a ball of fire. Her piss and vinegar actually rivaled Ted Nugent's piss and vinegar, which is saying something, by the way.
Well, I'll tell you what, she was definitely a force for good. And speaking for Texas, I'm hoping we didn't lose you to Michigan. Next time you are back home in Texas, I'd like to go out squirrel hunting.
Well, I'm a Michiganiac. I was born in Detroit in 1948. I'll be 78 years old. This is going to be my 77th deer hunting season, and I might just play some Dolly Parton music at deer camp this year because she was a hunter. She and I talked about squirrel wrestling.
Yeah, I know.
So she may not have come off like Ted Nugent, and I certainly don't come off like Dolly Parton. Work ethic. That spirit of being the best that you can be and putting your heart and soul into every song, every concert, every day. That's the legacy of Dolly Parton. God bless her.
You got that right. Ted Nugent, thank you so much.
I love you people.
Love you.